Hi guys, I just want to make a quick video of the build for the SNES Raspberry Pi 3 case that I designed. For the tools you need some snips, or you could use scissors or anything that cuts, some extra filament, super glue, and a screwdriver, and obviously all the 3D printed cases. You have the bottom portion, which is where your Raspberry Pi 3 would be housed, held in by 4 screws as usual. I have these spacers as well, so that way your screws do not sit right on top of the Raspberry Pi. You have your memory card slot right here, so that way you have access to your memory card. You have your power, HDMI, and audio, and you also see you have these two little sections here, these little prongs that actually help snap the case together. You have your ejection lever fulcrum right here. You have your NFC tray, which is going to be where your NFC reader will go. You have these two pegs, which actually help hold the case together. You have your two USB ports, and then also two more snap pieces. You have one here for the second player, and also right here for the first player. You have your indicator, first player and second player, and then the section for your LED. For the top section, you actually have two pieces. You can see at the seam you have this top section, which is going to be for your cartridge slot. You also have this bottom section. The other pieces are going to be your power, reset, your eject button, your cartridge cover. You also have the back plates for your power and reset, your 3D printed spring, which that helps return the eject button right back to its starting position. I'll show you from the top angle, so it brings it right back. Okay, so there you got that, and then you have your ejection lever, and then you also have your cartridge tray as well, your fan mount, and also your cartridge. So we'll start with the cartridge lever, which you're going to have a short and long side. Your short side is going to be closest to the hole. This would fit right in there, and then that would sit flush. Once you glue that together, you'll end up with this. So you got your short side and long side here, and you got to make sure this is flush. And really what holds this together is these two holes right through there. You just insert a piece of filament, and that will hold it all together. And there you go. Then for your NFC reader, you want to make sure this black piece is sitting on the bottom facing this way. The reason being is two reasons. One is if this was sitting up top here, eventually that is going to come loose with these 4 solder joints. They're very tiny, and that'll eventually wear off and then pop off, which will make the NFC reader useless. Also, another reason why you want it facing out this way is so that this is actually the longest portion of the NFC reader rather than this side. This is the shorter side, so you want the longer side this way so it's not sitting up that tall. And if you pop that in, there you go, nice and snug. And then your wires would run this way to the Pi control, which it would plug in right here. Okay, so there's that. And that's really it for the bottom section without the electronics. We'll go ahead and go over to the top. This is going to have where most of your pieces are going to be, and then also most of your super glue, which you're going to have to glue in this spring portion here. There's a little hole here which just slides right in. You just glue that in. And then for your back plates, you have two of those, one for the reset, which moves freely and actually uses the spring from the button to push it out. You also have your power button, which this one actually locks into place, and you could hear it click. Reason for that is there is actually a little cutout here for the power section, and you could see there is a little bit of a peg right there, and on that back plate there is another piece where that is actually what clicks it in. For your eject button, you have a hole on this side and a hole on that side, and your eject button is going to have those two little prongs, one on each side, and that is what holds it in. So the way you pop that in is you just put in one side first, and then the other will just slide right in, and that's it. And then obviously you're going to want to put your spring here so that way this doesn't fall down. Then for your power and reset buttons, you're going to go ahead and pop those in. And you just got to remember that your power is going to be this one here with the grooves, and then you would glue that back plate on like this one. You glue that on, and when you glue it on, you want to make sure you keep moving it, just so that way the glue doesn't set and actually glue to the case, and then your button doesn't move at all. Then you just repeat the process for your reset button, then you're good to go. And then same thing, glue it, just keep on moving it so that way it doesn't glue together with the actual case. Then you could also see here you have the slot, which is actually where this piece is going to go. This actually just snaps right in there, and there's no play whatsoever. Which you could see this hole, I thought maybe it'll have some play, so I could make a little peg that would come out and then sit on top of the Raspberry Pi, but that's not even necessary, to be honest. You also have your fan mount, which this uses the same fan mount as the Daft Mic NES. You just use your second vent here, pop in that back end first, and then this prong here will clip right in. There you go. And this will actually sit right on top of the SNES processor to keep it nice and cool. So that's how you basically do the top. Almost forgot, you want to do your slot cover, which this also uses a piece of filament. You pop this in right here. You're going to use a spring, which for my design I used a click pen spring. I just cut it and then bent it out so that way it sits on this back piece here. The other one sits on this. And the hardest part is getting the tension just right so that way after a couple uses it returns back to its normal position and doesn't sag after a while. That's the hardest part. But you would put your spring right in the center, then you're going to use your piece of filament, slide it through there, cut it on both sides, and that's what you will end up with. And that, oh, almost forgot this piece here. Let me clip that in. So there you go. This piece actually goes all the way to the top, so that actually gets rid of any type of play whatsoever in this. And you could see here that this doesn't connect, which the reason for that is when you put it in, you could see that's where the USB port is on the Raspberry Pi. And if that was there, then your case wouldn't close. So just got rid of that. This bottom piece is what actually clicks the SNES cartridge into place, which I'll show you that now. So to put it together, you're going to put your top part in like that. You're going to want to make sure that the NFC reader is going to slide through that opening on the cartridge tray. And there you go. You're going to push that forward as much as you can. And these two little pegs right here, you kind of see them under my thumb, that is going to click into place. There you go. So now you got both of them in. And then these two clips in the back. Two nice satisfying clicks. And then that's it. Everything's all together without, obviously there's no electronics in there. But let's go ahead and show you the SNES cartridge. So that would slide right in here. And I'll do it slow so that you could hear it click. There it is. And then you just use your eject and it pops it up. There you go. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.